Let us know, Kobe.
Well, oh, so what's up, guys? Right now, we are in a Discord call, and we're talking religion. Bible-ish religion. We...
Who are you joined by, though? Who is this we that you speak?
Who are you joined by, Kobe?
Please wait, I must compute. Boop, 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 boop.
Wait.
Oh, it's, Michaelis the Pelvis, Ethan the Cretan, and Jaquez the Waquez. There we go.
Yeah.
And then yours truly over here, the Goliath standards with 1 equipped lace, 2 shoe buttons, and a bow tie to back it up. Now, as we've said before, we can start the discussion.
Alright, yeah, we're gonna talk about our worldview thing.
So, question number 1, what is the uncaused cause or primal
This is a very
mover?
tricky-
How does
tricky
anything exist?
It's a very tricky question. Mitchell, would you like to start us off here?
Well, okay. Here's the short answer. I don't know. But here's the long
Oh.
answer. Okay. I think whatever caused this magical universe, or not magical, that's not scientific. Whatever caused this universe, it was far outside the human realm of comprehension. So basically, I don't think
Yes.
we'll ever know what caused it, and we probably won't even be able to comprehend what it even is if we did find it.
This man sounding like Ben out here.
That even if there is a god, then
Uh,
how did that god come from nothing? That doesn't really solve anything.
That's
Maybe
what
there
it's
was
uncaused
never
cause, bro.
anything, or maybe there was never nothing. Maybe that the world has all.
well, now this isn't what you're thinking. This is okay.
This is my time to talk.
Mitchell, no one needs to hear you talk. No one needs to hear you talk. You said enough. Okay, now for what I'm thinking. No, no, you.
Final, you dumb. Okay.
You're just saying the same thing. No one ever knows what it actually is.
I think I'm gonna take my turn now because Mitchell doesn't know what he's talking about.
Wait.
No.
Let me finish. Okay, maybe there was never nothing, so maybe the world.
You've said this 5 times.
And maybe it just started from nothing. That's the other possibility.
You said that like 6 times in a row.
Alright, Jack,
You interrupted me.
Alright, Mitchell, shut up. In my mind, I have no I can believe the idea of like a god because I feel like in my mind there had to be something that didn't have any explanation for everything to exist, but I don't know what that is, and there's no evidence to prove that there is anything that happened to create everything, so I can't really say what the uncaused cause is, but would have no trouble believing in like some god that created everything.
okay, yeah.
But as
I'll
of
just
now,
go-
I don't know.
I'm gonna go next because mine's basically super similar to yours. I'm in that category too, where I think maybe there could be a god, but there's not a lot of evidence for it. But I do believe there is a possibility. But like at the stage I'm at right now, I don't know what that may be and like what that would like perceive. Like what is a god? So
Like, does that even make you atheist if you're like,
I don't know.
like
It's a good
open
question.
to a god? Like I don't even.
It's a good.
Well,
question.
Now is it my turn now?
I think
go
it's your
ahead.
turn.
I think it's my time to shine. It's my time to spread the wings and grace you with my unsoothing knowledge.
Colby
Okay.
flips your 690s.
I shall. Well, this is how I think of it. I honestly don't think there's a god. I just don't. I don't think that could ever be possible, a possible answer. But what I do think it is different molecules, particles, atoms. They all were like, you know what? Today we're just gonna come alive. They came alive. They came together. They formed. They mushed. They did everything, and then little tiny elements, chunks of elemental rock started forming, and that is how we got to where we are today.
So you're taking the Darwinian approach.
I am
of
taking the more science-based approach because I do not believe in a giant toaster floating in space looking at us.
What about an old Santa-like looking dude with a beard or something?
Well, I could respect it, but I would rather it be an old man with. Actually, never mind.
Birth your
Yeah,
boy
so I have a
Jesus.
question. Are you open to the idea of a god, or are you completely?
Oh
like,
no,
So
Ethan.
you are a proper atheist.
We are what we call the purebred atheist.
Guys,
Right.
there's no way.
There's no way we've been fed only scientist O's and all the other things alike.
Were they
Okay.
frosted or honey nut?
Those were honey nut.
Oh,
Okay. Moving on to
Yes.
question 2.
Oh.
What are humans? How
Yeah.
are you conscious? Describe your existence.
All right.
Okay. Mitchell, we'll take it
Shall I
off.
start again? Okay, so
Oh
basically
no.
what I believe is I am a brain comprised of a bunch of like random stuff, and
What?
basically
Random
Yes,
stuff.
okay. But I believe that there is not that much free will because just like how we were raised combined with like all the other factors up until our life, like before making a decision, that will influence your decision, not your actual free thinking. So basically, I think that we're almost 100% shaped by our society and surroundings, and there isn't that much that separates you from others besides like what you've experienced before in your life and that type of thing. And many people believe that it is far more likely we are living in a simulated world than the real one. I'm not sure about that, but I think it's also a possibility.
Well, then you're just dumb.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not.
So you're having some
I don't know.
interesting theories.
No,
First
no,
you start off
no,
saying all
I'm
your
not
body
saying-
parts are just a random
I'm not
shit.
saying
Hey,
it's
hold up,
possible.
hold up, hold up.
I'm not saying
Anything.
I'm just saying it's possible.
Alright, well I'm gonna have to I'm pretty much the opposite of what you said, bro. I think everything in our body has a purpose, unless like except for like the gallbladder or whatever, or the
Appendix.
the appendix.
Or
which-
the
yeah,
tranquil gland that resides off into the northern star of your arm.
yes.
Good.
But I think as humans we are opportunistic predators that and have like the biggest impact on the earth.
Dolphins.
And we are conscious. I am conscious because I have awareness and I have the ability to learn things and communicate and whatever, and I can feel things. And I believe my existence is described as different because unlike you, Mitchell, I think that we are all different. I mean, we can be shaped by society, but we are not completely defined by society. We're all different.
Okay,
So,
okay.
you know.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
we're all
okay.
different
So you're
because
wrong.
we've all-
No. You said we're all the same.
I did not say that at
No,
all.
You
hey,
said we're all
Oh.
the same.
I said.
Let's
based
Oh.
talk about it at the
entirely
end.
by
Talk about it.
society. That doesn't mean that everyone's the same. I mean, like life experiences is what I meant. Like no one
don't-
ever will have the same life ever. So we're all different. It makes sense.
Yeah, but okay.
It makes
Next.
sense. What?
No, Mitchell, what were you gonna
Fight me.
No,
Go,
no.
move on.
yeah,
I want to hear what he has to say. I want to hear.
No, you
I
don't.
said what I had to say.
You did?
Basically,
do-
everyone will always live a different life from each other. So there's
Yes.
no way that anyone would be the same.
Okay, do you
And everyone
believe
is
You
shaped
should-
by their life experiences.
Thank you
and
for specifying that, Mitchell.
do you believe that we live in a simulation or
No,
or were you
I
just
don't
saying
believe
that? Okay,
that. I
so you were
said it's
just saying
possible, though.
okay.
I'm not ruling it out.
It's possible.
Okay. Colby, you want to go?
Sure. Well,
All right.
I can kind of agree with Mitchell, not about like all the weird crust that he said, but I can.
About body parts and whatever.
Yes, I don't believe in that. I don't know about that part, but I mean, I do think that you can have different spawns. You can have different spawns and stuff. Like your stats, what you
Like
get, what.
salmon?
Yes. So when you spawn in, you might not even have good stats. You might have a really bad stats. You might be living in a
Like
mole
your
hole.
genetics.
It-
Your stats are
What?
like
Stats as in like your spawn location, your overall like.
it would
This-
be kind of an
Character
L if you spawned in like North Korea.
Exactly. That would not be a good.
He is cucking you.
Yes, exactly. So I do agree that it depends. Some people that have good RNG stats and spawn locations have more freedom than others. As if you were to be born in like let's say North Korea or maybe some parts of like
Somalia.
exactly, some parts of Somalia where you're kind of just ruled and suppressed, where you don't have much of like a say in anything. You've been suppressed to nothing but a
Colby.
sad man or woman that just sits in its shell. And
So
So
I think
describe your existence, Colby.
yeah.
Like,
what-
Yes,
so-
yes. Well, here how I can describe my existence is, or how I
You were
have
spawned in a pretty good
conscious.
location.
Yeah, I was spawned in a pretty good location. I was spawned with some okay stats, not the best, not the worst, and
Decent loot.
yeah, we got decent loot from what we've had. And I would say that I am conscious because most people would probably be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this instead of this because this alternative seems like it would be a lot easier for other people or myself. And in my case, I just don't care. Like if someone were if there was like a starving kid on the side of the street and he said, you know what, I have $1, give me something to eat, but I was hungry as well. Most people might say, well, I might have to give this kid $1. But me, I would say, well, I'm broke actually. I only have $1 as well, so let me just take this kid's dollar. So there we go. See, so once we're done with Mitchell, no, Ethan, you better stop. You better stop. Okay, and after we're done with that, once we got the $1, then you realize, wait, I can't even buy anything with these $2. So I go back to him and say, I'm sorry, and I give him the $1 back.
Oh, okay.
And then after that, I can say, you know what, yeah, most people at
So
first.
you gave him the $1 back because you couldn't use it.
Yeah, basically. So most people, if they had no free will, they might do something. They might feel bad, feel empathetic. Yes, you might feel that at the same time, but at the same time, you're also a creature of wanting things of your own. You neglect others sometimes for what you want, and I'm one of those really selfish creatures. Will not lie.
It's the Yabo.
Yeah, I'm like a great white shark. I don't care whatever's in my way, I shall eat it, and we shall not.
You're more of a bonobo, if you ask me.
Oh, well, you're a yellowfin tuna that has gone astray with no tail.
Okay. Back on topic here.
He took the kid's dollar.
Alright.
Oh
You got anything else, Colby? Or
Oh, why, of course, Ethan, of course, I have loads to say. And how...
No.
uh,
I think we should move on to
god. No, we
Ethan.
should move on. We should move on.
Okay.
This is
Well,
too controversial.
I think my explanation...
wait, Colby,
I agree.
do we have to stop it all, or can you just record like?
I can record forever.
Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna go. How are you conscious? I think I'm conscious because of the different senses you get, like smelling, tasting,
Yes, sir.
hearing. So I think that is like a prime example on how I'm conscious because
Ooh,
even though I may some people may say you live in a simulation. I think those senses.
Most people? Who are those?
Some people.
What are they smoking? They are smoking corn on the cob.
So I think
Colby.
the senses prove that you're
corn on the
conscious.
cob.
And my
Yes.
existence, my thing is kind of like Colby, I think a little bit, where I mean, people can be selfish and stuff like that, but I mean, if you kind of gotta think about others, which is hard to do sometimes, but sometimes it is good to do that. So, all right, that's enough
Colby,
for
I
me.
have a question for you though. Can
Yes?
You can't prove. Actually, I don't have a question. I have a statement. You can't prove that we are not in a simulation, and you can't prove that we.
Well, you're kind of a brain dead salmon if you think you're in a simulation. I'm sorry.
How?
Those people are the definition. And I probably can't say that right now. Yeah, but the thing is that Mitchell, you might just be dumb at that point to think that if you really want
Okay, give me an
to believe, if you really want to believe that you're in a simulation, Mitchell,
Conversation we
you can believe that. I'm sorry, you can believe it. I won't tell. Well, then just shut up, Mitchell. Okay, then Mitchell. No one needs to hear from you ever again. Shut up. Go back to your own world.
that Colby is a fairly how should we say closed-minded person.
No, this is how I should say it. I am not gonna believe in stupid. I'm not gonna believe in some stupid fairy tale crust. It just makes no sense. Mitchell, you're undercooked. You were undercooked steak.
All right.
Just a sad piece of meat that needs to be thrown in the garbage. Now that we've established that, now let's move on to the next question.
Let's move on.
We're only on the second question.
There's simulated garbage, you mean?
No, just really sad garbage.
Does anyone want to start us off?
What is
Question
the
three?
purpose of
Yes,
life?
I'll start off.
Okay, go ahead,
Okay.
Mitchell.
What is the purpose of life? I think the purpose of life, there might not even be one to be honest, but I think the purpose of life is up to you, whatever you want to do with it. And
Yeah.
I think
Perfect.
if we actually did find the purpose of of life, it might be like everyone gets too depressed to do anything because we would basically either achieve it and then feel really bored, or never be able to achieve it and feel sad. That's a possibility.
Okay.
I
Fair enough.
personally I agree with Mitchell, but I think that like the purpose of life is just to live and
Whoa.
survive.
Deep.
You know,
He is
You know,
woke.
like and further humanity. That just means like
Ball out.
yes, yes,
Okay.
long beaming.
Long beaning. Tuna fishing. Shark diving. Maple syruping.
Ye-
Bee extracting extravaganza.
yeah. Okay. So yeah, just live, don't die. And
Alright.
if you take the easy way out by like I don't know.
Eating
yourself,
yourself. Exactly.
That's weakness.
Hmm.
Really?
Unless you have some type of thing.
That's like
I had a question, Jack.
If
Can
you
I ask a
can't
question?
take the heat, get out of the kitchen.
yeah.
So, Jack, let's say like you're a prisoner of war in like a war camp,
That's what I was.
and you're not gonna escape, and they're just gonna hold you there and keep torturing you. Is it weak to kill yourself then? Do you think?
I would say no, definitely not.
I think I should reworded what I did.
Yeah, I think you should. I think you should.
I should say, okay, I give up.
I mean, you can just say
Oh.
like it depends on the circumstance.
Yes,
if that's
I
what you
agree.
think.
I think it does because if you think about it, if like
Obviously,
if a family member like
better
kills
to
themselves
die.
or something, and then you go over to them and they're like coward, I don't think that's gonna be taken kindly by like their family. You know,
Yeah.
that would be generally
I-
frowned upon. So,
I spoke without thinking. Okay.
Yo,
That's
TTV
fine.
God. Hello, how are
we're
you?
just exploring all sides of this. This is a good
This
conversation.
is good conversation.
This
But
is-
I agree.
On Conversation Street.
In many circumstances, there are reasons why it would be better to be dead than to be alive. That's why
Okay, okay.
assisted suicide exists.
Hello, hello.
Alright.
But
We have a viewer, guys.
Oh, let's go.
oh, let's
He
go.
he is typed in the chat. What's up, dude? We're just talking about it's TTV God.
Oh, nice.
I know.
But
So
how actually weird is that we have a viewer on our final.
I know my guy, we are recording a conversation for our final in a world religion class. So
We're-
feel free to
we're-
just join in and hear our really bad
back.
inputs on this type of stuff. Okay.
Alright.
Okay, who did
Um,
we leave off on?
Jacques.
Oh,
Okay.
now.
What is the
So-
purpose of life, Jack?
He just said that.
He just-
Mitchell, you might be.
The purpose of life, Ethan.
Um,
Engaged in that
my-
conversation.
So I believe the purpose of life is to die without any major regrets. So being on your deathbed and thinking of stuff you should change means that you didn't live life to your fullest, and that's like what I believe the purpose is. So to like not live with any regrets as you die, and then also to try to enjoy every moment when it goes by, because this may be the only life you get. So you should take advantage of that and make
That is
like take,
true.
make that like take it to the fullest and don't
I don't know about
don't just let it
regrets.
go to
though.
waste.
Like I feel like
Okay,
you
I
should
mean,
have
that's my
some
opinion,
regrets
but-
to learn. You have to make a few mess ups to learn.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I like major regrets. Like I mean, if you mess up and then you learn from it, that's like I feel like that shouldn't count. But maybe something like you wish you did that you never got to do. So maybe like travel somewhere that you could have gone, but you just didn't because like you thought it would get in the way or something. Like major goals you have, stuff like that.
I think everyone is always gonna have regrets at the end, though.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just prioritizing how great those are. I guess.
That's true.
In
like
that regard,
which
but-
assignments to turn in and which to just ignore.
And we're
Wow.
turning in this final, so we
Yes,
are not.
are.
This is a
We're
big
not
one.
ignoring that.
So yeah, that's mine.
You ever regret
Kobe-
just like drinking a big jug of water before you go on a long drive?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had to pee inside of a bottle and out of my car window once.
I eat way more than the average human, so.
Well,
Okay.
I do as well. I what
Well,
I do.
no,
Okay.
I was talking to you.
Colby?
Yeah, I was talking
Oh,
to
it's my turn, right? Okay, now it's time for the Grand Gouda, the piece of the resistance to talk now. Okay,
Alright,
okay,
Colby,
okay,
what
okay.
is the purpose of life, Colby?
So-
Please tell me.
I have a really, it's just a really simple answer for me. Really, just do whatever you want to do. If you want to climb a mountain for $1, do it. If you want to sail the 7 seas on a whole bunch of sturgeons, do it. If you want,
What I'm getting.
no, if you want to sit on your couch and not go to school, not get a job, and just sit there and die and rot and crust up, do it. If you don't want to take a shower for 1,000 years, do it. If you want to live for 1,000 years, do it, but you're gonna fail. If you want,
We really took that to heart.
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
According to those related directions.
However, the thing is that I am an actual god at everything that I've put myself into, that I've wanted to actually accomplish. I am a literal masterpiece. I am a Picasso. I just showered last night, Jacques. I did not know what you're on. I am a literal Picasso, the spitting image of one of his finest works among the things that I accomplish here. But other than that, I just... And you're just the mollusk that got crushed by a sea snail. So now that we got done with this, the purpose of life really is just to do whatever you want to do. And that's it. You don't have to care about what anyone else thinks. Just do what you want to do. There we go.
just listen to yourself and then stay true to
Follow
yourself,
your
whatever you feel like.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yes, man.
Okay.
Anyone else have anything for that question, or are we good to move on?
Are we going to questions? We're only on.
I think,
4
yeah, I'm
now.
ready to move on.
Oh,
Question 4.
we're almost halfway done.
A lot of editing.
I know. I'm gonna have to
Any
do a bit.
objective morals?
Well, actually, if you want to be really specific of my decalcified callus, you can now commence the Operation Big Boy. Let's go.
Operation Big Boy.
Where does morality come from? Are there any objectives?
Oh, mega lol.
That's
So,
Mitchell, go ahead.
I guess I'll answer this.
Oh.
No, there is no objective morals. Morality comes from, like, in my opinion, just like people that were better to each other and that kind of thing. They survived more because they had less enemies. Therefore, they were able to teach those like things onto their children, their offspring, and they had a better success rate at like surviving and keep going through life. So. And I think everyone just figured out that if you're like better to each other, better things will happen to you. So I think that's where we kind of got the idea from morality, and I think it's just continued from them. But I don't think there's objective morals.
I think we should clarify that an objective moral is something that is either right or wrong regardless desired. But for me personally, I don't think there. Oh my god.
Oh my.
Edit that out. Edit that out.
No, we're gonna keep that in. We're gonna enhance the duration of it.
Instant replay.
We're going
It's
to.
only 2 minutes of.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Huh.
Where does morality come from?
He
Jack?
sounds like a
I don't
pelican.
think there are any objective morals. Because I feel like anything you do at any point kind of messes up something else, no matter what it is. But I think like what is like right is or wrong is determined kind of by society. So,
Preach.
and that's also just subjective. So, no objective morals.
Interesting. Okay.
I
okay,
agree with
okay.
that 100%.
I liked how you said like the main part in my answer to that question was like society deciding where morality comes from. So I liked how you said that because I believe that society, instead of maybe like teachings from a script, it's more society that teaches you these, and like the objective morals in society are more not like that there are many, but kind of just like unwritten rules. Like for example, killing innocents is bad. That's just kind of like a moral that's
You don't need to really. Yeah, you just
Yeah.
know it. It's like you don't have to tell anyone that it's bad.
Wrong. That's the
yeah,
thing.
yeah. But I think that society teaches you those, and more. It's like that's like the perception that everyone kind of gathered over time. So
Yes.
So we all have basically the same exact view
Is there
on
similar
that.
to that,
Yeah,
too?
mine was basically just that.
do you want to add anything else, or
Well,
pretty much?
if I like nothing that I would add would contribute to anything right now, so no.
Okay, respect.
You might want you to get some points though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, just share. Just say what you wrote, even if it's the same. It's all.
Wrote, my man.
Oh.
Wrote. Did you say wrote? Oh my lord, this. Can you believe this guy, guys? Oh my gosh, he thinks you right. Heck no, brother.
Okay. go tell us that.
I'm like a squirrel with a wingsuit. We just fly out and don't care. Okay, so basically, if we're gonna get back into one of these sad debates again, I just think, yeah, the only thing that really like shows what really morality is, besides like a scripture or something, or like a or writings of some person, is like just society and what it's like carved out like the correct morals to be. Like it just basically shows you how to act at this point. You don't really need a guidebook anymore or anything like that, or a scripture. It just kind of is a common sense of what's right or what's wrong, and now it's just up to you on whether you want to do that or not.
So-
I feel
Okay,
like,
but
though,
where does
forgot-
the common sense comes from society? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically society, just overall people's opinions.
The
Okay,
thing is
okay,
though,
I
like
got
it's
you.
always changing though, because at one point.
And
we thought-
maybe, well, in the
That's
society,
true,
in
that's
society, it might be different. Maybe more, if you want to get even more specific, maybe based on your location as well.
Yeah, yeah. But I feel like
Yeah.
even then, there's like certain morals that are just known throughout the world, though. Because I feel like everywhere.
We obviously
there-
don't go around killing people like you want.
Yeah, but I feel like in each specific region, there is like specific morals that maybe are different than others, but there is like overarching morals that are like.
It'll change
known-
from culture to culture. Though.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a couple that are just like killing is bad.
Well, it depends on where you are. That's another thing. It depends on where you are, because it really does. Like it doesn't even have to be like a specific country. It could be like a really, or like a state, or even like a part. It can just, or a part of the world. It could legit just be within a group of people that you surround yourself with, that you that morality, that morality like that morality sense can change. It can be a lot different.
So
The thing is,
Very
like,
true, very
killing
true.
is not.
See, if you're like in a group of terrorists, no, you're not gonna worry about that. See, that your morality's changed. It is switched into the things that you have formed with the group.
But do you think is there any like
They
morals
don't-
that are
They don't care
Like,
about
that
about killing.
do
That's
you
what they
think
do.
That there are any like, and I'm not saying just killing, but just is there any
More
morals that
objective
are
than
like
others.
known throughout the world, or are they all different?
Maybe the only one I can think of is maybe respect. Like that's about it. Because even if you are in like a group of people that really aren't like the nicest people, maybe they kill people. They still in that group. There's still like a levels of respect that you want to give each group member.
Okay.
Thing
No
is,
matter
though,
what.
I feel like I'm not.
I think
objective.
Even if it's forced. Even if it's
I think
forced.
respect is less of a moral and more of like I don't know, just kind of a safety thing almost. Like
Safety.
you respect people you think could be like, I don't know. In then some positions in the groups where people are killed all the time, I feel like respect is more of a fear thing than a.
That's why I said. That's why I said forced. Even if it's forced, it's like one of those
I
things.
see.
But
I understand.
there can't be. I mean, even though killing is bad, sometimes it's necessary. Like I feel like dropping both the nuclear bombs on Japan was necessary to prevent the death of millions others that would have.
From both
You think that
sides.
You think it was
Fighting.
necessary?
Yes, I do too, actually, because it would prevent more deaths from both
Would
sides.
have come down, and then half of Japan would end up being part of Korea or something.
So
Mm.
maybe there's like exceptions to these morals that
Well,
you
that's
can.
what makes them subjective, rather
Mm.
than. All right, let's go on to the next question. We took way too much time on that one. Okay, what is wrong with the world, and is
I
there
brought
evil
out the
and where
5 head on that one.
Okay, I'll go. First
Okay,
again,
Ethan.
I guess evil
No, Rust.
evil is basically selfishness. That's what I think. That's where it comes from. I don't
What's
know.
wrong? What is wrong with the
What
world?
is wrong? Like, since I said there's no real objective morals, I mean, objectively there's nothing wrong, and I also think there could be a lot, like, just in my opinion, there is stuff wrong, because I have the morals I learned from society and whatnot, but I think there could be a lot more wrong, to be honest. So, like, I think we're kind of fortunate for the world we live in, but there is stuff wrong, like climate change and like greed, selfishness, that kind of thing, and that's where it comes from, is greed and selfishness.
Yeah, I agree. Selfishness, very is bad and that kind of thing. But I feel like what if there's no real true evil or in the world? I mean, that's also defined by society. So honestly, I guess I think we are what's wrong with the world, because we're the ones that inflict all bad stuff on our own planet here.
Okay.
So that's where our evil comes from us. So
Okay.
We
I
are
agree
our
with that.
own
Yeah, I agree with
worst
that.
enemy.
Although I do think that selfishness, depending on how much you want to go for that, I think it's also something that you want. I don't think you shouldn't be like non-selfish. It's good to be selfish on a lot of things.
I guess that makes sense in like some regards.
Yeah, and like
I
if it's
agree with
like
that.
if it's as simple as like sharing like a part of your sandwich with someone, like then you just do it. Like there's no reason not to really just fucking
Like if
just
you're
do
gonna
it.
get a promotion,
But if you're gonna, yeah,
yeah,
like if
I
you're,
can see that.
but if you're getting a promotion, as you
That's
said,
not
Ethan,
helpful.
you want to be selfish. You're not gonna say, oh yeah, you can have it, buddy. No, you're not. You're not. You're gonna say maybe you might say like, oh yeah, you can try your best to do that, but dude, I'm not gonna let you do that with a
So
like a
that's
10-inch
that's
pole.
more selfishness on the other person's part
Yeah.
to ask for your
Yeah.
sandwich.
That's true.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's
Um,
not really
I
you
feel like
being selfish.
most
just-
most conflicts, like
Even if it's with someone that
probably
doesn't like,
95%
yeah.
of conflicts of all time can be traced back to someone being selfish, even if it's just a little bit selfish.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
I guess I can see that.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Next, Ethan, would you like to?
Yeah, so I think I guess it's kind of selfishness. I think personally, like there is one major problem, and that's greed in the world, and I guess you can kind of tie that into selfishness. With I would put those two together, just like from my explanation about greed, but more just like people who maybe have more than others are taking away from those who have less and in need. But I feel like in some regards, you do have to realize that if you worked hard for that money, you are entitled to some of that money. I feel like, but I feel like at the same time, it would be nice if you could help others that are in need. But let's see. I said yeah. And about the evil, I don't think there is any true like evil being like the devil or anything in the world or anything like that, but rather just like ideas that develop over time through society and that may be considered like an evil, but I don't think there's any like being that's like an evil in the world,
Right.
like the devil. Like that, yeah.
Cool.
All right. Next question. What is
You wanna
the
read
next question? What is the solution to the previous question? Can we save ourselves? Mitchell, do you think we can save ourselves?
No. I think
yeah.
there's always gonna be greed. That's just how it goes. I mean, honestly, I do agree with Colby. Sometimes you do need like think about how boring the world would be without conflict. Like
Yeah.
there would literally be nothing to do. So I think it's good to have at least a little bit of conflict, preferably maybe less conflict than we have right now, but like I don't know. It's fine.
I feel like trying to save ourselves and alleviating like selfishness would mean like going against our own principles of like saving yourself and preserving your own life. So I feel like
Mhm.
there's no way we can just not like get rid of our own natural instincts like that. So there's no
Mhm.
way we can save ourselves
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
unless we're all
Yeah.
like robots or something.
I feel like as well as even if you try to save yourselves, like everyone, I feel like if everyone in the world were to say like, you know what, I think we all should try saving ourselves right now. I feel like more conflict would also come out of that. Like no matter what, there's always gonna be something that that just causes a whole bunch of conflict in the world. No matter what it is, even if it's something good, people are still gonna argue about it and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. Yeah. I think that we can definitely help solve it, but I don't think we can completely solve it. I think like we can help lessen it by maybe being a little more generous, but you're never going to completely solve greed and selfishness between people. That's just how I think people are built, and but I think maybe you can help yourself by solving this problem by bettering yourself every day as a person and building character and trying to just be a better person than you were the last day. But you're never going to solve the issue completely, I don't think.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
All right.
Moisture.
Next
The last-
question. We got
What?
4 more.
4 more.
Are
more.
people naturally good or
Yikes.
evil? What defines a person as either?
Okay.
Right.
In my opinion, people are not naturally good or evil, neutral, pretty much. Actually, maybe if I had to like guess which one it would be naturally evil. Just because of our instincts and stuff make us like I guess more on the bad side, but I think their actions during their lifetime would define what makes a person good or evil. The decisions they make. I think wrongdoing still needs to be punished no matter what because the world would just descend into chaos if it wasn't. And life is more enjoyable for everyone if there's at least a few like rules in place.
Okay.
And we get along better the more universal those rules are. There's less conflict between countries and stuff. And people are not really either. In my opinion, so at least.
I think I kind of agree, but I feel like people are naturally good, but are
Really?
perceived as evil because, like, I guess by trying to, but you, because everybody does things to try and further their own existence, which is not necessarily evil, but it can be perceived as evil. So
Hmm.
I guess I could see both, how it could be either or neither, but I don't think by trying to just like make your life better or just extend your life should be considered good or evil, or well, evil. So
Okay,
I think we're naturally
Yeah.
good.
I
Okay.
can see
Wait,
that.
according to our stuff before, because there is no real like good or evil. I mean, yeah, people would just be neutral all the way, but like for our purposes of like our personal opinions.
Right.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think personally, I think that it like in everyone's view, like if you're yourself, no matter what you do, you're gonna perceive it really as good, but depending on your morals, you like even if it's something that's genuinely bad, you can still think of it as being something good because you want to do that. So technically, it's like it can be whatever. Whoever it's like on the eyes, whoever sees it really, it's up to them really. Kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I don't know if
I
I'm
can-
kind
yeah.
of
I
Yeah.
can,
No,
I,
I
I
can
don't
get it.
fully agree with that though, because you can do a lot of stuff where you're fully aware what you're doing is bad, but you do it anyways. But I think what it is not that we're thinking of it as good or bad. Sometimes we know it's bad, but we're thinking of it as justified. Like we can justify our behaviors because of everything that's led to that moment, like a way you're feeling, some other things that have happened that day, like whatever, and you will still do it even though you know it's bad, but you feel it's justified just because of like everything else that's happened to you so far.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. I think that people honestly start out as pretty good, but then fall into these like evil practices through society.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I think society teaches these instead, but I think you start off non-corrupt, not knowing it maybe when you're a baby because you don't know better, but then as you grow older, you kind of are exposed to these things, and it's just like I don't think there's any way you can prevent them from being like installed into you at all. I mean, you can try your best, but
Installed.
yeah, like a driver.
I like this.
So I think yeah, it's just inevitable that it's gonna happen, and although you can try to be the best person you can, there's still gonna be a little bit inside, but you just gotta try your best to eliminate as much as you can of that every day.
I have a question for Jack.
Yes.
Okay, so if in your opinion, this is just a question, I don't even have an opinion on it, but if people are naturally good, you said they might be. How did people get like evil in the first place?
Because I mean, it is perceived as evil. Because I feel like Hitler, although as bad as he was,
Now this
like,
is some scary
can
waters.
be considered. I know this is it's kind of hard, but like, could he be considered evil because he thought he was doing the right thing? Like,
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point.
See, that's what I was kind of getting at. That's what my thing when I said I was kind of like trying to portray the same exact thing that Jack is trying to portray.
Okay,
So you think like it just depends on the person?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, it
Yeah.
depends on the person's view.
Interesting. I just personally, I disagree in that. But I mean, I see where that can come from. But I just
I know
think
how
like
that can sound really controversial.
No, I get what
I
you're saying.
understand what you're saying. Like,
sense, but
other people would definitely perceive that as evil, but maybe in his mind he's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I get that.
I mean, it was
I-
obviously
Sure,
terrible
yeah.
to kill 20 million people just because they were, what, like,
A different like
mentally ill
race.
or gay or Jewish.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see that. That's a good point. You guys have anything else, or should we move on?
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
All
Could be a
right, this
long
will be an
podcast.
interesting question. Hopefully, we don't get a big debate over this. But Mitchell, what do you think happens after death?
Oh, this is a good one.
Absolutely nothing.
True.
Uh,
think-
True.
that's it.
Ugh.
Lie there in decay, and eventually you're just not.
Well, actually, technically, you're helping the soil.
Yeah, I guess.
You're helping.
You're enhancing the earth.
Yes,
Does
you're
that
you're
mean
gonna get
everyone
good
becomes
crop
a good
rotation.
person 'cause they're worm?
Yes, yes. Eventually, everyone becomes a good person.
Okay, so you think once you die, you die. There's like nothing
Yeah,
beyond that.
there's no respawns.
Okay.
Let's go.
No, not even in a different life or a different.
Not-
No.
place.
Oh, that only happens in anime, Ethan. Come on now. Let's be honest, dude. Sadly, we're not in an anime, but you know, hey.
Are you opposed to the idea of a Shinigami?
What?
Ooh.
Some
Shinigami.
people fancy toilet.
Toilets?
Never mind.
No.
You
Jack,
haven't watched Death
what do
Note.
you
Never
think?
mind.
Yeah.
Jack, what do you think happens after death?
To be honest, I wouldn't be opposed to the idea of reincarnation.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't like discard it as a possibility, but
What do you?
I mean, I'm not
what do you
really
think?
sure. So I just like to say, when you die, you just go on.
Okay. Yeah.
That seems very vague.
I think
Just
it's gonna
go
be
on.
interesting 'cause I think Jack and I are more similar in our views, and then like Colby and Mitchell are more similar. So I mean, there's gonna be a little bit of conflict here, but mine's kind of. I think
don't
there
know why
is.
these are similar to Colby's.
Well, Colby's got his own worldview.
That's true. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I think that there is more to life after death personally, but I don't know what that would be. I personally, just in my belief, I believe that like whatever you do believe, whatever religion that be or whatever belief system you be, that maybe is what becomes. I'm not completely sure about that, but
What does
just
that
maybe a
mean?
possibility.
What does that
So,
mean
like,
by
let's
that?
say you're a Christian, you believe in God. Okay, you might go to God. Let's say you're a Hindu and you believe in reincarnation. Okay, then you'll be
I-
reincarnated. That's what I
I will
personally.
say, I don't think I believe in the idea that what you do in your current life will affect what happens in your next.
So you think like
'Cause
whatever
I feel
happens?
like if you done messed up in this life, I don't think you would end up getting reincarnated as like a trout. I
Okay,
don't
so-
think that's as practical. But
Okay, I mean I can see that. I just think whatever you think, that is maybe what will happen. So I mean, regardless, like if you're an atheist and you don't believe in God, maybe then yeah, you won't be reincarnated. You'll just die. But maybe if you do believe in something else, that'll happen. But
Well,
that's
is
just my
wishful
view.
thinking, but I definitely don't think that's possible. But
Okay,
that would,
I mean,
that
I
would be
respect
cool,
your
though.
opinion.
If
I respect
if
it. I
was,
respect
that
it.
would be really cool.
I'm not gonna get rid of it because when you think about it, the idea that we're living on a big hunk of rock in the middle of space and we don't know what created all this is enough to like
It is a
wouldn't
little
seem
sketchy,
possible.
but
Mhm.
But
it is
it
kind of suspicious. We haven't found any other life yet, though, which is
I agree.
also a little interesting. It's interesting to think about. I don't know.
I know.
I
'Cause
think
you
the
think-
universe is so big that we just can't explore enough of it to the
Maybe
life.
that makes sense. But I mean, they do know. I mean, they have been locating a lot of planets that maybe life could be on, but we just can't go to them. So I mean, it is
Yeah.
possible. So I don't know. Colby, you have anything? What do you think happens after death?
Well, personally, I just think once you're done, once you finally hit your spawn, like let's say you have a good spawn or a bad spawn, whatever you spawn in, everything goes well. You've lived out your good age, whatever that may be, and I just think once the final boss hits, the final phase, the final chapter, your last mission, your last level, once you hit Grandmaster, I think you're just done. There's nothing
So-
else you really can do.
You hear boss music playing in the
basically-
retirement home?
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is basically you're playing life on Search and Destroy.
Yeah,
No respawn?
basically,
Yeah.
no respawns, no nothing. Like,
Okay.
let's say you finally beat that final boss. Now you're like 80 years old. You can't. You're basically
dumb.
done. 80 years old. You're gonna have. You're gonna.
You're gonna die at 80, says Colby.
What do you want to call it? You can't really do much at 80. I mean, you can depending on how, like on how good your stats are. And like
Yeah.
how good your RNG is, because you might just randomly get a whole bunch of things that goes wrong with your body, and then it just
Facts.
then once that happens, because that usually happens around that age, then things just go wrong. Then you're it's like a vehicle that's like, it's like a car that's almost dead. It's like almost dead. It's just expecting to die within the next few seconds. It's about to blow up, and then once that happens, there's no restoring it. There's nothing. You can
So,
keep a
what-
scrap of it as like maybe as like a reminder of what that was, but now it's just dead. It's just dead. It's
So,
gone.
You and Mitchell both believe no afterlife. Once you die, you die. Right?
Yep. Once you
Yeah,
die,
okay.
you are done. You are kaput.
I'm not 100% convinced. I just think it's the most likely thing.
Okay. I mean, I can see that. Yeah. All right.
Alright, well,
Yeah. Go
do you,
ahead.
what do you guys base your beliefs off anything? What do you guys, you know?
Mm.
I would base these beliefs off of
I mean, it sounds like
many trains of thoughts I've had in the past.
it's kind of more like science, right, Mitchell?
Do you ever just lay
Think?
down and be like, what created like the universe?
Yeah.
And then you feel kind of like weird and
Mhm.
small.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's such a weird feeling. I don't like
It
it.
is. You don't know
Well-
where you came from.
So basically,
I came from my mom.
Beliefs would be based off of
That's
science.
true.
There you
Where'd your
go.
mom come from, though?
Her
My
mom.
mom. She
Okay, then you might be a little too much of a scary man.
Well,
She came from a cabbage patch.
Then where did that cabbage patch come from?
wait,
That cabbage patch came from my intergalactic mushroom contamination station, dude. That thing went.
Where did the
I came
first
from
thing
the
of life
sea,
come
actually.
Ethan, that came from small little molecules that finally said, you know what, we're gonna ball out. We're actually about to just go full boss mode, and just created that.
Okay, I can see that.
Okay.
Why-
You guys start. I just got
No,
some visitors at my
okay.
house.
Oh,
I'll be right
of
back,
course
but,
you did.
Just here, I'll be right back. Okay.
This doesn't normally happen in a regular podcast, but this is
It's a-
Sealu podcast.
it's-
This is the Scuffs podcast
Go
of
ahead,
Sealu.
go
Oh, what? I
So
heard
would you like to start us off with what? Oh wait, you already did.
he
Oh.
did. Yeah.
Okay. I base my beliefs off of my own experiences and research. And
Research.
He's done
What-
research.
what do you, your worldviews offer to others that other worldviews don't? Mine, it's obvious. That's the second part of the. It's like three parts. to
Are
the
we
question.
not gonna have Colby answer the last question?
What?
No. This is like a three-part
Oh,
question.
okay.
What do you base your beliefs on? What does
Oh.
your worldview offer? And you know, and so my
Oh.
worldview offers a different outlook on the world because we're all different, and I'm sure all our worldviews are just completely different, even if they're kind of similar. So, but we're all individuals, and if we all had the same worldview, we would be, we'd be boring. So,
Mhm.
yes, different outlook on existence.
Well, I went wrong
Next.
over here. Oh my! Order in the court. Okay, so basically, okay, so I've based mine off of, like, as everyone has said, what even if it may be as sketchy as doing research.
Colby, we know you do more research than any of us.
Well, I do research on many things, but this is not one of them. However, and if you want to buy my starter pack for that research, you can buy it now at crangbis.com for only $3.99. Ethan, stop talking. I am advertising.
He's actually-
Ethan.
he's saying-
I'm actually saying things, Ethan, so just stop talking. Ethan, I say things in my own way. I don't care what people have to say about it. I say things in my own way. If you don't mess with it, you can just mute me. Okay, so now that we have that hater out of the way, we Okay, now look, you killed my train of thought now, Ethan. Look what you have done. Ethan, look at what you've done this time. You made me lose my train of
Ethan,
thought.
You really suck.
You really do. Ethan, you're like a washed pebble in a... Now, my character is drowning right now, so sorry for that. But I am going to meditate by the waterfall. Okay. So,
Ethan, if you were a boat, you would sink.
that is true.
Alright,
But he has flex tape, so he stays afloat. Okay, so... Look, you made me lose all train of thought, Ethan. Now I have to look at the question. Oh yes, I base my beliefs off of just what I have accumulated over the years, the knowledge that I have grown. Like yes, my wisdom, hearing the birds chirp, the grass grow, and let's say like the rocks turn, the butter worshippers, you know? This is what I base my beliefs off of, and I don't really do research on this. I'm not gonna be one of those people that lies on their bed and says, "Now where did I come from? Where did all this?" Because in my personal beliefs, I already know. It's just a whole bunch of science stuff, and that's it. See, it could be a giant man with a huge, and I'm talking like humongous, tsunami-sized forehead that sits in his laboratory that created all of this.
I feel like you eat circle-sized pizza.
Circle size? No. I like that. Jack, you're just so dumb. Okay. Well, Ethan did not like the circle. Ethan, I hope you know that this is probably the most entertaining. Ethan, this is the most entertaining podcast that he'll ever get. None of these podcasts or anything will make him laugh as much as this. Ethan.
I could see that actually.
And therefore exactly
we all need A+.
and therefore exactly what is it now? Now that is a heavy statement. This is pretty good.
Did you finish that one, Colby? Or...
Yes, I am done.
Mitchell, your birds are providing a lovely ambiance.
Thank you.
I don't really know. This question's kind of a little confusing because mine is basically similar to Colby. It's just like what I think is what I base my beliefs off of, and I think
that's what we've all said, bro.
Really?
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
But I think that humans are so like they're obviously the most complex and advanced creature on Earth, and I think that this I don't know. I think it has to mean something that and like they're also very emotionally connected and stuff like that. So I think there has to be something after. But that's just my worldview.
Wow.
Anyway, let's move on to the last question.
That was the last question. Oh wait.
No, we got one more.
Oh.
What does your personal worldview offer?
Oh, I thought those two questions were connected.
Yeah, I was confused when you said that, but whatever.
Okay, what does your personal worldview offer to others that that other worldviews don't? Mitchell, go.
Okay. I feel like it's more what my worldview doesn't
Way
offer.
too dank.
My worldview doesn't offer any comfort because it ponders the possibilities that life doesn't matter and death is
So you're
meaningless.
taking the more
It doesn't
like,
offer any
conservative
explanations to
approach.
difficult questions, and it makes one feel kind of useless, as it basically means nothing matters in the end. So,
Are you reading a script, Mitchell?
yeah, I'm reading off my paper directly.
Kinda sounded like it.
I think that it offers a modern outlook and
Modern.
He's a new designer for this stuff.
So you're just stating what you think is the raw truth that nobody wants to hear.
I somewhat. And then also, I think as time goes on, unless there's like a groundbreaking sign of God, that more people are gonna become atheists and stuff in the future, because that's just the way it's been heading in. That's just the direction.
So basically, when your theory is proven right, everybody's gonna think they're stupid.
No. Also, I'm not saying I'm an atheist either. I think that there could be a God, but I don't think that unless there's a big sign that God is here, then.
What was that? What was that? Yikes! Weird, champ. Weird, champ.
Like the big booming voice from the sky that just announces like God.
Okay.
Your
But,
big booming voice is not very good.
Okay, hold on. Let me retry that. The
Ow!
more people will just continue to be atheists.
That just sounded like
Okay.
your normal mic. Just to...
Okay.
Alright.
Well, that is the rumble of God.
Currently, I'm fighting a pine tree.
Ask him what the meaning of life
Are
is,
you
Colby.
winning?
What's the meaning of life, you muppet? Get over here, you sad
Okay, I
little
already
fish.
stated it before, but my worldview offers just a different view of the Earth and different than to others. But it
Okay.
doesn't offer any. I mean, it's not depressing. It's just what I think.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying
Colby?
to be. I mean, yeah.
I'm on top of a bald man's car.
Nice.
Would you like to perform your answer to the question?
Perform, you say? Ooh, I might have to. Let me get my microphone, my acrobatic skills on, and I have flown into a waterfall and
Did you
died.
just fall out of your chair?
Well, I fell into a waterfall and died. But other than that,
Yeah.
this is
Colby,
what
tell me-
happens.
Yeah, tell me, Colby.
Yeah, so personally, I just think my worldview has, it offers whatever you want it to have. It doesn't really care.
It's like open perspective.
It's open but not open. It's only open to what if you fit into the category, then it's open to whatever you want. There could be giant turtles that have rocket launchers on their toes. It could have decalcified fragments that shoot up in the stars and say, "For my name is Frankie." It can be whatever you want.
Okay.
And I don't think you
yeah.
understand.
I don't, but I respect your opinion.
No. We don't like respecting opinions here. Bad creature. That is not what we like to hear, Ethan.
Colby, I have a question.
Yes?
How do you think the universe started?
Ooh. We're getting the shoe polish out here.
Yeah, we are, cause I know you just said you explained the Earth starting by a bunch of science stuff.
Yes.
Then how did like anything ever start?
Oh, well, if you really want to get... Didn't I tell you a giant man with a huge, ginormous, like, magnifying glass fish lens forehead came into the world somehow, just popped out of something, and just started... My guy is... Whoa. My guy was... Wait. We don't care about your 1-inch chocolate chip right now. What I'm saying is my guy is dabbing underwater. He is floating backwards.
That's the
My
outro, that's the
worldview,
outro.
I
That is
think
it.
I didn't get to go. I think my worldview offers the specific idea that like society teaches the specific morals, because I think like a lot of other worldviews say that like God teaches those, but I think that mine's different because I say that, and I think a lot of ours agree on that too, is that
Mhm.
society teaches these morals instead of maybe God or scripture. So
Yes.
that is all the time we have for today. Thank you for listening
Oh.
to this podcast. There was lots of good banter, a little chuckles,
yeah.
some chuckles going on.
I
Thank
really
you.
hope I recorded this.
Me too. Colby. Colby, can you check?
Well, I mean, it's on stream, so we'll have the VOD if I didn't.
Okay.
But
How long was this? Can
Thank you
see?
guys for
we'll
listening.
see.
Okay.
If you guys want more, don't comment anything.
Yes,
Just
if
comment
you
whatever you-
if you want more podcasts like these, it could just be with me too, guys. I mean, I think I could do a good podcast out here. You know what I'm saying?
You're just gonna cut us
What
out.
are you gonna
like
talk
that,
about?
Colby?
You just-
I can talk about many
It's
things.
less of a podcast, but more of a rage compilation.
No. Guys, let me tell you what I have to offer here. This is my sales pitch right here. That's gonna go
So
really
you're gonna
wrong.
Plug yourself. Wait.
We're only talking to Mr. Slater too, I think.
Yeah.
So pitch it to Mr. Slater.
Okay, so basically, what I have here, what I have in store for you, really sad minnows, is that if you were to listen to my podcast again, or just watch my gameplay ever again, you will get much wisdom from it. You can see a different type of creature, a different type of human, a human that has actually been genetically modified to morph into its own beliefs, that doesn't care what others have to say, that is not a sad a bamboo staff that has been cut from sewing needles and garbage cans of cacti. Now, if you understand what I am saying, you might be on drugs. However, if you don't understand what I am saying, you are perfectly normal. And after all this indecisive positivity of my clams that I dig out with my shovel, I say it is time to feast, and I'm really hungry. So
I am also hungry.
if we
and
could
I'm
end
hungry as
this
well.
really soon, that would be
Yeah,
good.
well,
But
thanks for
also,
watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy this podcast.
yes,
And
and this has been an hour, by the
I
way.
would like to repeat once again that my worldview is not nearly as parallel to Colby's as some may think. So,
Currently, I'm holding a hammer in the middle of a thing of grass.
what?
Oh.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye
Thank you guys
bye.
for listening.
Thank you for
Bye.
watching.
Yep. Thanks for watching my 2
Watching.
viewers, dude. Well,
Listening.
listening or well, they were watching my gameplay.
Cut. Cut. Stop.
Okay, guys. Well, I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you very much for watching. If you
We
did,
should have ended it a long time ago. to be
well,
honest.
we've been streaming
Yeah,
for.
it's
I've been
literally-
streaming for an hour.
7th period.
Oh,
Yeah, do you
No,
guys want to
we
do
didn't.
some science homework?
I don't have
We
science.
didn't miss
Hey, well,
seven.
thank you for watching. I'll talk to you guys next time.
Yep. GG's, dude.
Yeah, I
Have a
need
nice
to go
day.
sous vide some chicken.